She didn't wait. She didn't hesitate. And now the entire industry is asking the same question. Did Im Yoona just change everything before Lee Junho could even react? Welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time here, you picked the perfect story to start with. Today we're breaking down a moment that has quietly sent shockwaves through K-entertainment. A moment that fans didn't see coming, but somehow feels deeply intentional. Full details. Im Yoona making the first move before Lee Junho, and the big announcement that has everyone talking. Stay with me, because this story is layered, emotional, and far more meaningful than a simple headline suggests. For a long time, the narrative around Im Yoona and Lee Junho has followed a familiar rhythm. Two respected idols turned actors. Two careers that matured beautifully over time. Two people whose chemistry felt effortless, whether on screen or during public appearances. Fans watched, speculated, hoped, but also accepted that if anything real were to happen, it would likely come quietly, cautiously, and perhaps led by Lee Junho. That assumption alone is why what happened next feels so powerful. Im Yoona has always been known for her elegance and restraint. She speaks carefully, chooses her projects thoughtfully, and rarely steps into controversy. Which is exactly why her recent move caught everyone off guard. Without dramatic press conferences or flashy teasers, Yoona subtly shifted the narrative. Through her words, timing, and visible confidence, she made it clear that she wasn't waiting anymore, for permission, for perfect conditions, or for someone else to lead the moment. What makes this so compelling isn't just that she acted first, but how she did it. The announcement itself wasn't loud, yet it was unmistakable. Whether you interpret it as a personal declaration, a professional boundary-crossing moment, or a symbolic step forward, one thing is certain: it was deliberate. Fans noticed it immediately. Industry insiders noticed too. And perhaps most importantly, Lee Junho noticed. Sources close to the industry have hinted that this wasn't a spontaneous decision. Yoona has been reflecting deeply on her journey, her growth, and what she wants her next chapter to look like. After years of being perceived as the perfect image, polished, agreeable, endlessly patient, this move felt like a quiet rebellion. Not against anyone, but against expectations that no longer fit who she has become. Lee Junho, on the other hand, has always carried a different kind of presence. Grounded, introspective, often letting his actions speak louder than words. Fans who expected him to be the one to step forward first were surprised, but not disappointed. In fact, many are praising the dynamic shift. Seeing Yoona take control reframes their connection in a refreshing way. It turns speculation into conversation, and fantasy into something more real, more human. What's fascinating is how this moment has reignited discussions about agency, especially for women in the entertainment industry. Yoona didn't wait to be chosen. She chose herself. And in doing so, she reshaped the story entirely. Suddenly, it's not about, will Lee Junho respond, but rather, what does this mean for both of them moving forward? The reactions online have been intense, emotional, and overwhelmingly supportive. Fans describe feeling proud, inspired, and oddly emotional. As if they witnessed a personal victory rather than celebrity news. That kind of response doesn't happen by accident. It happens when people sense authenticity. When they feel that someone they've admired for years is finally living on her own terms. Of course, speculation is everywhere. Some believe this announcement hints at a deeper personal relationship finally stepping into the light. Others see it as a professional statement, signaling new collaborations, new boundaries, or even a reinvention of Yoona's public image. And then there are those who believe it's both, a beautifully blurred line between personal truth and professional courage. Lee Junho's response, or rather, his silence, has only added fuel to the conversation. But silence doesn't always mean uncertainty. Sometimes it means respect. Sometimes it means processing. And sometimes it means that the moment belongs to someone else, and you're wise enough not to interrupt it. If there's one thing this story reminds us of, it's that growth doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives as a calm, confident step forward. No apologies. No explanations. Just clarity. Im Yoona didn't just make the first move, she reclaimed the narrative. She reminded fans and critics alike that behind the image, behind the roles, behind the years of public expectation, there is a woman who knows exactly when it's time to act. And that's why this moment feels so big. Not because of rumors or romance alone, but because it signals a shift. A shift in power. A shift in confidence. A shift in how stories like this are told. As for what comes next, whether Lee Junho responds publicly, whether their paths align more closely, or whether this remains a standalone statement, we'll be watching closely. Because moments like this don't fade quietly. They ripple. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more beautifully told stories about your favorite stars, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And let me know in the comments, how did Yoona's move make you feel? Do you think this changes everything, or is it just the beginning? Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep loving the stories that make us feel something.